Yo, what's the dealio, man? Listen, you already know I got a straight banger for you today, all right? So in this video, what we're going to talk about is what is the outlook for June in the stock market? What's the stock market going to do in June? What can we expect? Now, this video is going to be absolutely beautiful. It's going to be amazing, okay? So when I am looking at the market, I look at things as a flow, but I also understand the business side of it. And whenever we go into a new month, we have a new set of data, we have a new set of everything. So we got to treat it as separate. Every month is a separate thing, but it flows from the previous month and the previous weeks. So I use Claude a lot. So I'm going to share some things that I was going into Claude about and thinking about June and how we going to, murder the market. So I'm going to share a couple things with you guys, and we're going to talk about the market for June, what you can expect, what the outlook can be, all of that good stuff. All right. So first thing first is we got to understand what is the historical performance of June. That's the first thing, right? So let's look at this right here, okay? So as June, I said, please give me the historical performance of the stock market in the month of June, okay? So right here, it says, boom, it's breakdown, 97 years of history, right? The S&P averages 0.7% gain in June. In recent times, performance has been even better. Over the past 6 years, the index has ended June higher 5 times over the past 6 years with an average of 2%. 2%. All right. From a longer term seasonal perspective, the S&P's 500's 0.06 average return in June since 1957 makes it the second weakest month of all 12. Though June has been in the up in the 12 of the past 20 years and 8 of the past 10. All right. The difference between 97-year average, 0.7%, and the post-1957 average is 0.06%, tells you something important. June has actually been improving in the modern markets. Now, what does this mean, y'all? What this means is, as time has gone on, even though June is the second weakest month of the year in performance, it's getting better. It's getting better. So even though it's the second worst month in the year, the worst, like its low, is actually getting higher. It's getting better. That's what this is saying. Now, let's look at this. This is by the month. Not really worried about that. But this right here is very important. These are recent June performances of the year by year. Here's what June has looked like in recent years based on confirmed historical data. So it tells you the year and then the AI momentum. The key driver of what made this stock go up or down. In 2024, we had the AI momentum and the Fed pauses optimism. Okay, so the June was up 3%. 2023, debt ceiling resolution rally. Market was up 6.5%. 2022, the Fed had rate hikes, inflation fears. The market dropped -8%. This was after COVID, right? So you got to think, after COVID, so we had COVID, rates had dropped, and then money was drying up. They went up on rates, fear, right? Inflation fears, market drops. Okay, 2021, reopening momentum, right? This was after COVID. So basically, I'm kind of doing this backwards, But in 2020, COVID hit, okay? So in 2020, COVID hit. 2021, reopening momentum. So the market goes up by 2% in June. And then in June of 2022, right, they opened everything, but then they increased the rates. And then the market drops in June, right? So, and we could keep going, right? 2019, the Fed pivoted expectations, the market goes up by 6%, right? So, as we can see, out of the past 9 years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These 10 years is not showing 2025. The last 10 years, we've had 1, 2 negative months, 3 flat months, and then 5 positive months. Now, plus 0.5 is positive, but that's basically flat. So these 3 are flat. We have 2 negative months. That's 5, and then we have 5 positive months. Okay? So, these are some things to think about for the month of June. So now, what we're going to do is, we're going to ask Google, how did the stock market perform in June 2025? Okay. How did it perform in June of 2025? So we want to look at last year, right? Let's look at last year. Right here. Right? Trump's beautiful big bill. Right? In June last year, 2025, it gained 5.1%. And it hit a new all-time high last year. So when we go back here and we see all of these, we can add 11 for 11 years. They went up 5% last year. So as we can see, negative. So they were negative. Last time they were negative, we had a negative June was in 2022. So we're in 2026 now. So 4 years. Okay. If we want to look at it just from this perspective, we had a negative year. And then how many years was it until we had another negative year? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. It took 7 years to have a negative June. Am I saying it's not going to be negative? No, I'm just saying that this is something to pay attention to right here. So this is the historical data and what we're looking at, right? Now, obviously we have the charts as well, but I want you guys to understand that historical data will help you get a picture of what's going on in the market and where things can go. So if they say that June is the second weakest month of the year, but it's getting better and we've been going up, now we got to look at, okay, the market. We're in an uptrend. We're still bullish. Now, what's very important to think about is right here. When we look at this, we're looking at the key drivers. Right here, we're looking at the key drivers. I like to say, AKA the narrative. So there's always a driver or a catalyst that's pushing the market in a direction. So the key driver, AI momentum, Fed pause optimism, debt ceiling resolution rally, et cetera, et cetera. Now, and then you see right here, Fed aggressive rate hikes, inflation fears, right? So what do we have in June of this year? We got a new Fed. No more Jerome Powell. So that could be a key driver of June's performance. That could be a key driver of June's performance. Things to think about. Okay? That is a very, very, very big thing that is happening. But we also have the AI craze is still going on. We saw what just happened with Dell. Ran up $100 and something, up 30% earnings. CEO was in cahoots with Trump. right? So that is going on. The semiconductor space going crazy. So between those things, and then we got SpaceX IPOing the aerospace sector. These are narratives and key drivers that could be driving the stock market in a direction. So when you couple this with the actual charts and technical analysis, now we have some, we got momentum and we got things that we can be paying attention to. And now we can get an edge on where the market is going to be going. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So when we looking at these charts here, let's go to these charts. Now, when we look at SPY, what do we have? On the monthly, we have a low right here, and then we have a high right here. All right? All you do is you mark your month's highs and lows. Now you come down to the weekly, and you say, where is a pullback where SPY can come down to? Your pullback area for SPY is going to be right here between 724.36 and 732.46. Right? So that's your pullback inside of the month. So right now we're at 756. Right? I'm making this video. The market is about to close in about 45 minutes, an hour. So boom, this is your pullback for SPY. For IWM, we have your lows right here, and we got your highs right here. Now, where's your pullback going to be with IWM? Your pullback on IWM, shoot, it's going to be right here at 271.88. It's going to be 271.88, right? And then a little bit lower than that will be 263.14. But 271.88, and at 270, that's going to be your last month's low. So that's going to be IWM. And then we got QQQ right here. Now we got a gap to fill to the downside on QQQ. We gapped up from last month to this month, which was from April to May. We gapped up. So we got a gap to fill to the downside on QQQ. Right? So we could be coming down to 717 from the 737. But let's go to the, oh no, on the monthly. I'm sorry. That was on the weekly. My bad. On the monthly, we got right here. Look at the monthly, y'all. When we look at this monthly, now we go down to the weekly. Here's going to be your pullback area on the weekly inside of the month. It's going to be 675.84 to 696.78. This is going to be your pullback zone. This is going to be a buy zone. If we come in here, you want to look to go long. If we break below there, then we could come lower. So that's going to be your area for QQQ. All right? This is what's going on the month. So when we go down here, Let's look at the June outlook, what Claude said. Bullish factors, after a 2-month S&P return average 20%, the index return average is 16 over the next 6 months. So what it's saying is, after 2 months of going up by 20%, on average, it goes up by 16% over the next 6 months, which is 2% a month, right? And 31% over the next year, right? Strong May historically leads to a positive June, okay? As you can see, we had a strong May for QQQ. We had a strong May for SPY, and we had a decent May for IWM, right? So then July historically follows June with even stronger performance. So they're basically saying, based on what we're looking at here and the historical data, we could definitely be going higher over the next couple months. But now, caution flags. Overbought conditions after the massive May rally. June FOMC, because we do have FOMC in June. That is a wild card. So you're not going to be in the clear until after FOMC and then OPEX in June, right? The 8 instances most closely mirroring the current setup had less bullish follow through, right? The S&P closed higher only 63% of the time, all right, with a 0.3% median return, suggesting that the upside may be muted than the headline suggests. Okay? Basically saying there's potential that the upside is not as great as it looks like. So we need to be careful and we need to be cautious of that. That's what that means. Okay? But June is historically mildly positive month, but it's improved meaningfully in modern markets. So the market has been, evolving, and the June performance, historical performance, has been going up, which is what it's saying. Okay? So that's what June is kind of looking like and what the outlook is. Now, let's say that SPY, the market, because SPY is the market, goes up by 2%. If SPY is at 755, 756 right now, and it goes up by 2%, let's see, 755 times 0.02, that's $15 increase. So what that means is, if SPY goes up by 2% next month, from 755 it goes up by 2%, that's $15. That's going to put us at 770. Okay? 770 equals a 2% increase. Okay? But if we go up there, doesn't mean that we're not coming down into this pullback area to get some liquidity. So make sure you guys are paying attention to your areas of liquidity, and then you could enter in there and go long, and it could bounce up and it could go higher. I hope that makes sense for you guys. Now, there's some stocks that I am looking at, but this video, I wanted to talk about the overview for the actual month of June from this perspective, so that you guys are aware and you know what to look for. So I hope that video helped you guys out. If it did, let me know. Let me know what stocks you guys are looking at in the comments as well. Like I always say, make sure you get up out your head. Go get into this world, because your head is a dangerous place to live. All right? And also remember, y'all, the more you study, the less you worry. All right? Y'all have a great day. I'm going to holler at you guys on tomorrow's video. Y'all stay smooth, man. Peace.